warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All praise is due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the nourisher and the cherisher of the world. We bear witness that there is no one that deserves to be worshipped except Almighty Allah, and we equally bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Allah's servant and messenger. May the peace and blessings of Allah continue to be with the Holy Prophet, his companions and followers, and all the Muslims who are treading his path. We are grateful to Almighty Allah who has afforded us this opportunity to benefit from these words of reminder as well as admonition. In our previous lectures, we have discussed the rights of the husbands and the wives and the rights of the wives on the husband. We feel that a pertinent follow-up should be the rights of the children on the parents. The rights of the children on the parents. Hukukul abna alal aba. It is the rights which our children they own on us. And Islam has so much emphasized kind treatment to the children. First of all, Allah says in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Ali Imran, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has inculcated the love of women in the men and the love of children in the two of them. A man at a particular stage in his life will desire marriage. Similarly too is the woman. She will desire marriage. First of all, to satisfy the sexual urge which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has imbibed in every human being. And after that, to bear offsprings that will inherit one. No matter how wealthy a man is, his wealth is incomplete without children. So the desire, the love for children is natural, because it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has inculcated that feeling in every one of us. And is also, man desires marriage in order to contribute to procreation. That is why our religion so much frowns at celibacy. Celibacy is the act of avoiding the opposite sex. Thinking, well, I want to move nearer to God. Having anything to do with women may pollute me, or may corrupt me, or may serve as distraction. Islam so much frowns at this that Rasulullah sallallahu said, La rohbaniyata fil Islam. There is no celibacy in Islam. The Christians who have fabricated this, Allah says in the Quran, Ma katabna alayhim illa ibtigaa wajhillah. We have not enjoined celibacy on them. What we have only told them is, in your act of ibadah, always seek the pleasure of Allah. But this act of not doing, not marrying, is not the teaching of Jesus Christ, alayhi salatu wasalam. Neither was it the teachings of his apostles or disciples. This was the teaching of Paul. And Paul was not one of the disciples of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So he came after the ascension of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and overthrew most of the teachings of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And today, the modern Christianity is based basically on the teachings of Paul, not on the teachings of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And the whole thing itself is based on fraud, shit. You know, because everything revolves around the cross. Take away the cross, there is no Christianity. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells all Muslims in the Quran that وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. Isa was not crucified, neither was he killed on the cross, but we made it to appear like the one crucified. بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Allah only took him up to himself. Allah raised him up to himself. How he did it, he knows best. So that is the whole edifice of Christianity, which the Quran has automatically condemned. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ. He was not killed on the cross, neither was he crucified. So in a clear-cut, unambiguous manner, Allah has condemned it, Christianity. But now, it is very relevant that we mention it. Now the Christmas season is drawing nearer and nearer. And you see the craze, this Christmas craze will start now carrying people here and there. And some Muslims will even be giving people season's greetings. They will be receiving cards and gifts. Aha. If you accept this, Wallah, Islam is absorbs itself from you. This is not Islam at all. Because you're receiving this thing is aiding and abetting fraud. And this fraud is committed against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see now? We said Christianity is based on the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the cross. That is the basis. That is the essence of Christianity. Take away the cross, there is no Christianity. And this same thing, Allah condemns in the Quran unequivocally. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ. Isa was not killed nor crucified. That's Quran chapter 4, verse 157. You know, it was a concoction of Paul, who 419 the followers of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. But the man was very smart, you know, very smart. All the teachings of Isa, he threw it overboard, and he reestablished his own idea. You know, he was a pagan on the time of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. He was even a persecutor of Isa and his disciples. So after the ascension of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, this man just came. He said he had a dream that Jesus spoke to him. That is how he became somebody important. So he started his own teachings, and he was saying God, Jesus Christ, has inspired all these things to him. Can you see? So the whole edifice of Christianity is based on fraud. See? Fraud against the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and any Muslim who engages directly or indirectly to support or to say anything, to feel nothing is wrong with it, you are aiding and abetting fraud. So, and there is no compromise. Me, I don't receive this. If anybody gives you, I don't receive it. Nobody will kill you for it. I'm a Muslim, I don't receive this thing. And there is no basis, no fact supporting 25th of December as the birthday of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. In fact, among them, they were not unanimous. There is no unanimity among them as regards the birthday of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And because that day was the day the Romans were worshipping idols, the sun god. So, and you know, there is this problem. Anything based on fraud will not be able to stand properly. See, when Christianity entered Rome, the Romans were idol worshippers. They were pagans. So the Christians, they had to compromise their Tawheed, and they mixed the teaching of Isa with a lot of Roman paganism, as well as Greek mythology. All these things they now called Christianity today. So in Islam, there is no Christmas, no celebration of Christmas, no season's greetings, no, some of the offices now, they will start decorating with some rubbish. And wherever a Muslim is, you must not allow this. Nobody can kill you for it. This is my religion. I owe nobody apology. See? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. So, we have said that celibacy is out of Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling us, Allah tells us in the Quran concerning the issue of child. He says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, in Surah Shura, chapter 42, verse 49. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Lillahi mulku samawati wal ard. Yakhluqu ma yasha. Wa yahabu liman yasha'u inatha. Wa yahabu liman yasha'u dhukura. Aw yuzawwijuhum dhukuranan wa inathan. Wa yaj'alu man yasha'u aqima. Inna Allah alimun qadir. Allah says, the kingdom, the dominion, the control, the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth lies with him. He does not share it. And his control and sovereignty is not negotiable. He alone calls the bluff in the heavens and the earth. He does not share it with anybody. He has never shared it. He is not sharing it with anybody, neither nor will he share it with anybody in the future. Yakhluqu ma yasha. He creates whatever he wills. He creates whatever he wills. He is the one who created Adam. No father, no son, no mother. He created Adam. He molded him with clay using his own hand. Don't ask me how is his hand. Allah's hand is how it ought to be. It is indescribable. You can't describe it. He alone knows. But he tells us he has created Adam with his hands. And we believe so. But that hand is not like our own hand. Laysa kamithlihi shay'un wa huwa as-sami'ul basir. Allah has no form, no image, no shape. He is what he ought to be. This is our belief. And this is the Aqidah to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. This is the belief of the followers of the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the one who created Hawa and made Adam as our father. No mother. Sina, no mother, but father. He created you and I with father, with mother. And he created Isa alayhi salatu wasalam with mother, no father. Completion. Allah has completed everything. So he creates whatever he wills. And all his creatures, these miracles, has never qualified any of his creatures to be called son. Nobody is his son. Because he begets none, nor was he begotten. He has got no son. He says, Man yambagi li rahman an yattakhiza min walad subhanahu idha qada amran fa innama yaqulu lahu kun fayakun. It does not befit the majesty of this merciful Lord to have a son. Glory be him. Whenever he wills anything, he says be, and that thing shall be. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yahabu liman yashahu inatha. He grants, he gives whoever he wills female children. Female children. Nobody can determine the sex of his baby. Though some foolish people today are trying it. I've read some books where they say they can determine the sex. They say if you want to determine the sex of your child, there are particular methods you have to practice. I look at them, I was laughing. They all are based on conjecture, guessing, guesswork. They are only guessing. They are only guessing. So it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who determines the sex of the child, not the father nor the mother. Because he alone has the record of all the females that will come to this dunya, and including those that will not even see this dunya, those that will end up in the belly of the woman. Only Allah knows them. And he alone has the record of all the males that will be delivered and those that will not even be delivered. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says he gives whosoever he wishes males. Look at it. Prophet Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah gave him only females, no male. Females, no male. Prophet Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah gave him only males, 12 of them, males. Including Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And he says, Aw yuzawwijuhum dhukrana wa inatha. And at times he combines the two. Males, females, male, female, male, female. He may give you 2 females at a time. He may give you 2 males at a time. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But unfortunately, the people are afraid of twins. You know? They are afraid of triplets. They are afraid of quadruplets. There was one woman It is in one of these foreign magazines. She had been using the pills for about 10 years. All of a sudden, she became pregnant and she delivered 12 children at a time. 12! 5 boys, 7 girls. See? So the husband automatically stopped working. He became nanny, babysitter. And you see, the whole community took it up as a responsibility. They were giving them food. So the man could not even go to work again. If he's not washing the napkin, he's looking at after the baby. 12! And they even drew the picture of the woman and all the children. And the helpless husband. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives whoever He wishes. It does not mean you are a believer. Automatically you must have children. No. Your iman does not qualify you to automatically have children. And it does not mean that man is a kafir. He will not have children. No. You see, when Allah, that word al-Wahhab, Wahhab, it means a grantor of bounty. For the reasons best known to Him. He may see you as a mu'min. Allah knows best. While He will not give you a child. He may feel perhaps giving you that child may distract you from ibadah. So He withholds it. But you, if you don't have iman, you start getting worried. And you may see that man to be a kafir, and you continue to have children. Look, Allah bears witness to the number of children of Walid bin Mughira. Allah says in Surah Al-Mudaththir, "Darni wa man khalaqtu wahida, wa ja'altuhu malan mamduda, wa banina shuhuda." Allah says, Muhammad, leave me and that servant of mine that I have created with my hand. Though I have given him money, wealth, and I have given him children, many of them, you could not even count them. That's Walid bin Mughira, a kafir. So Allah says, وَيَجْعَلُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ عَقِيمًا. And whosoever He wills, He makes barren. Can make whoever He wills to be barren. He alone knows best why He has made that person to be barren. And he does not need to tell anybody why. He alone knows best. Before, Allah says He's the controller. But some people today, when they don't have a child, they start attributing it to certain natural, some idols, some witchcraft, some wizards. See? Whereas Allah is accepting the responsibility for that. Allah accepts that responsibility that He is the one who makes it to be barren, not anybody. And look at the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Aisha, the only wife He married as a virgin. No conception. For once, not to talk of me having miscarriage. No conception for once. If any sperm were to be pure, is it not that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So it is not the sperm that brings a child. It is the kun fire upon of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that brings it. You see that? So it is a lesson for the Muslims. So that whatever is your lot, don't blame anybody. Don't attribute it to anybody. You keep on calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a lesson for us. And that's why Allah has made his prophet an example for us, so that you can look at that man. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. You have the best example in him. Allah made him to have the most painful experiences that most of us cannot stomach, so that whatever is your position, you have to look up at him. If Allah could do that to him, then who are you? Who are you? Who is me? See, it's a lesson for us. So this is the ideology, the ideological basis of children in Islam. That verse, chapter 42, verse 49, Surah Shura. So, believing in this now, if you now have these children, they have certain rights on you. And these rights, you must fulfill them. And it is un-Islamic. And it is tantamount to kufru not to desire children for any time. It is kufru not to determine or to desire children by feeling I already have enough. I don't want more children. It's kufru. It's not part of Islam. Or you feel if I have too many children, they will be disturbing me in my money. They will be disturbing me. They will be sharing my food with me. I want to enjoy my life. And that's what people are doing today. So they say bear only 4 children, so that you can take care of them. It's rubbish. Allah says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشْيَةً إِمْلَاقٍ نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُهُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ إِنَّ قَتْلَهُمْ كَانَ خِطْئًا كَبِيرًا. Do not kill your children for fear of poverty. We provide for them as well as you. Certainly, killing them is a great mistake. But you see today, we are being bombarded with gimmicks, propaganda to discourage us from having children. And we are only making mockery of ourselves. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who created this universe, who created everything therein, He is the best planner. He is the budget maker. You see? And in his budget, no deficit. It's always balanced. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah's budget is always balanced. He alone knows the number of human beings at a particular time in the universe, and He alone caters for their needs. When you have exhausted your own sustenance, Allah will take you up through whatever means He wishes. So once you have taken your own share, you go. Other people will come. Just like that. So that at every time, at every point in time, the number of human beings in this universe will not outweigh their available resources. Except when you are greedy, that you have problems and crises. Because of greed, what belongs to 1,000 people, one person will sit on it. So that's what you cause for yourself. Still, that will not even frustrate Allah's plan. You cannot frustrate Allah's plan. Everybody will have his own share when his time is due. And if you cannot regulate death rate, you would never be able to regulate birth rate. And the two are controlled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Death rate and birth rate. And we determine, okay, in this year, we want from Nigerian population 88.5 million. If 4 million goes, fine. Can we do that? Can we determine the population death rate that in this year, let us sit down. As we sit down to plan the birth rate. No, we can't do it. Allah knows how best Some, they end up in motor accident. Some is aircraft. Some boat mishap. No, through various ways. Some they sleep, they don't wake up again. Some they end up in the hospital. Some even while going on the road. Somebody was telling me an incident. They were queuing up for fuel. And the man was within his steering just like this, just slept like this. Move forward now. By the time he got out, he has died. He died with the steering just like this. Move forward. He couldn't move forward. They were furious. They wanted to pounce on him. They discovered that he's already dead. That's how he has, because his risk, his sustenance has been exhausted. He has no share in anything in this dunya again. But Rasulullah said, Jibril particularly came to him and informed him that nobody will depart this world until he has exhausted his sustenance that Allah Ta'ala has decreed for him. Because sustenance is not decreed in this dunya. Rasulullah said, once the pregnancy is 4 months, Allah will cause an angel to come and give that pregnancy 4 things. One is risk, is sustenance. What he will eat, what he will use, everything he will need, Allah will determine it. Secondly, al-hajjal is lifespan. Thirdly, what kind of work will he be doing? Will he be a right-thinking person? Somebody who is always, productive, or a saboteur. You know, some people are saboteurs every time they engage in sabotage. And then number 4, where will he end up? In Al-Jannah or Hellfire? So everything has already been completed before we come to this dunya. So you come here now, you go after what Allah has made your own lot. وَالَّذِي قَدَّرَ فَهَدَى. Allah is the one who destines, who decrees, and He guides towards the fulfillment of that decree. So this is the belief of a mu'min, that nothing catches him by surprise. A Muslim, Allah has exposed many things to us as Muslims, but most of us, we are ignorant of these facts. So because ignorance is a disease. So that when anything happens, a Muslim does not need to bother himself. The solution, the cause, everything, Allah has made for him in the Quran. If you read the Quran, he will know. Then you don't need to bother yourself. So you pay gratitude and glory to Almighty Allah alone. Because He is the creator of this dunya, and He alone is the best part, is the director, is the designer, is the nourisher, is the cherisher, He is everything. And whatever we are doing today can never frustrate Allah's plan for every one of us. We can't frustrate Allah's plan. We may frustrate our own plans ourselves. So we may sabotage our own efforts. You understand? But Allah's plan, no. If you think not to frustrate, you are only working towards the fulfillment. Look at, let me give us an example. Look at Pharaoh. His sorcerers, his magician, they prophesied that a male child will be born, and this child will bring about the destruction of your kingdom. So that is the wish of Allah. So what did he do? He wanted to frustrate that plan. So he passed an instruction that no male child born should live. No male child born should live. So they were killing the male children in thousands like that. But when Allah's plan will be fulfilled, Allah inspired the mother of Musa. Put that baby in the court put it in the river. And you, river, carry this baby to the backyard of our enemy and your enemy. Carry it to the house of Fir'aun, Lanatullah Ali. So when the river carried out the instruction of Allah, the river carried it to the backyard of Fir'aun. And who first saw the child? The wife, who had no issue. So the wife said, I'm going to adopt this child. Pharaoh said, who is that? A male child? Bring it. The wife said, no, you are not going to kill this one. Number one, I've got no issue. Two, that child that will bring about the destruction of the own kingdom will be born by a woman. It is the river that has given me this. So this one is not born of a woman. Where is the mother? No mother. The river has given me this, so leave this child. And he accepted. So that child that will bring about the end of his kingdom, he himself nurtured him to adulthood. He fed him with his rice, with his tuwo, with his eba, with his rice, with everything. And Musa was given a royal treatment because he was nurtured and brought up in a royal house, in the house of Pharaoh. So he got the VIP treatment. So what happened? Musa came to bring the hand of Pharaoh. So you see, any effort to think I want to frustrate Allah's plan will lead to the fulfillment of that plan. Similarly to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, he said he had a dream. The moon and the sun and 11 stars prostrating to him. The father said, don't divulge this dream to your brothers, or else they may harm you. So the brothers plotted. Yusuf is too beloved to our father. Let's do something about him. So after we have gotten rid of him, then we become righteous men, and then our father would like us. So what did they do? They threw him in the well. Their intention was to frustrate Allah's plan. So they threw him in the well. They thought that would be his head. But he never died there. Because Allah has not deemed his death in that well. Somebody came in search of water. He threw his bucket in the well. Rather than bringing out water, he brought out a small boy. That one too sold him to another person. They were passing him here and there. Somebody who sees that may feel, the will of Allah will never be. But all these things, all these steps are just going to the fulfillment of Allah's decree. Until he got to prison. In fact, he even prayed for prison. You understand? He prayed for prison because the women were disturbing him too much. Because Prophet Yusuf was so handsome that they were referred to him as an angel. He said, Mu'adha basharan in hadha illa malakun kareem. This is no human being. This must be an angel. And some scholars said Yusuf at times was using veil to cover himself because of the fitna of the woman. So he said, my Lord, As-sijnu ahabu ilayya mimma yad'unani ilay. My Lord, prison is beloved to me, is more beloved to me than what they are inviting me to. And Allah got him there. He carried on the dawah work. He was preaching in the prison. He was teaching them Tawheed. Until the king had a dream. But nobody amongst his magicians and sorcerers could interpret that dream. But fortunately or unfortunately, that man had once been an inmate, a colleague of Yusuf in the prison. So he said, let me go after Yusuf. So he went to Yusuf and told Yusuf the dream of the king. And Yusuf interpreted the dream. Then the king sent for him. From today, you occupy a very important position with us. And he said, make me your minister of agriculture. Let me be in charge of agriculture. So he made him minister of agriculture. He was in charge of the food. And Allah sent famine to the country of his father. They needed food. So the father had to send the brothers to go to Egypt and get food. When they got to Egypt, they came in contact with Yusuf. They never recognized him because they thought they have handed him up. You know how they even confused Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. They robbed the clothes. They brought the clothes of Yusuf already soaked in blood of an animal to deceive the father that Yusuf had been devoured by a wolf. So they came there, Yusuf was testing them, until they came to realize that this is Yusuf, the one they have been plotting against. And Yusuf said, take my dress, go and show it to my father. Yaqub had wept that even his eyes were already going blind. He was already going blind. He said, when you take this clothes to my father and rub it on his face, he will see. And when they took the clothes of Yusuf to Yaqub, he was able to see. He said, bring my father and my mother and all my family to Egypt. So when they got to Egypt, Yusuf had gone to the throne. And they all came to prostrate before him. That is it. Nobody can frustrate Allah's plan. And that is why it is not good to wish another person evil. Whatever is his position, don't plot against him. You understand? Don't plot against another person. Don't wish another person evil. Because you cannot frustrate Allah's plan for that person. Always wish everybody well. Always wish everybody well. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the greatest. He's the decider of all affairs. So, what we are saying in essence is that sustenance is determined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should not fear poverty and thereby resort to taking the lives of our children. Allah says, don't kill your children for fear of poverty. And you know there are two similar verses in the Quran. One is in Surah Al-An'am, the other one is in Surah Al-Israel. The first one in Surah Al-An'am is addressing the rich men. That one in Surah Al-Israel is addressing the poor men. You know, when you are so rich, you think, well, if I bear more children, my money may be reduced, because of the care of these children. You see, Allah is addressing you too. Don't do that. Don't think like that. And for the poor man, he doesn't even have. So he should not think that if he has, that may worsen the situation. He should not think like that. Don't think like that. There was a man who had a wife. No money. He went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and complained. No money. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah said, go and marry. He married number 2. Still no money. He went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go and marry again. 3. Said, go and marry again. 4. Then after the 4th wife, Allah brought sustenance for him. Then he picked up for the woman. So what we are saying now is that we are not saying you will not work. You will make your own efforts. Don't say because Allah will take care of them. Allah will take care of me and my children. So I may afford not to work. No, you don't do like that. You make your own legitimate efforts and leave the rest to Allah. That's the teaching of Islam. So, because if you look at the dua that we are supposed to make each time we want to move closer to our women, the dua gives us the feelings that a child will come out of this. Rasulullah said, if any one of you goes to his wife and say, Bismillahi Allahumma jannibna shaytana wa jannib shaytana ma razaqtana. Say, in the name of Allah, O Allah, ward off the devil from us and ward off the devil from whatever you bring out of this intercourse. Rasulullah said, Lam yadurrah, that the devil will not have any. If you don't mention the name of Allah, Shaitan will partake. Because he has told Allah, I will partake with them in their hearts of children making, in their businesses, in their properties, in their wives, in their everything. I will try and make sure I lead them astray. So Rasulullah is saying now that if you make this prayer, Shaitan will not have any effect on that child. If Allah would say kun fayakun to that intercourse. So also, it is very important that as fathers, as mothers, or as parents, we should engage in a lot of righteous deeds. If not for ourselves, for our children. Because the kind of life you live as a parent will have effect on your children that will live after you. You know why? In Surah Al-Kahf, when Allah told Musa والسلام, to go and meet Khidr alayhi salam, Khidr was to teach Musa some lessons, and these lessons to an ordinary eye you cannot understand it. But one of the encounters of Musa with Khidr was that when they got to a village or a town, they begged for food from the people of that town, that we as travelers, please assist us. The people shunned them. They did not assist them. So they just sat somewhere. All of a sudden, Khidr called Musa alayhi salam. Musa, it's time for work. That dilapidated structure, that house there, we are going to build that house. Musa was disturbed. Look, this man. We go to this town. We beg for food. Nobody gave us food. We beg for water. Nobody gave us water. Now, this dilapidated structure, you want us to go and rebuild it without even asking who is the owner. Perhaps we could ask for our labor charge. Then Khidr said, henceforth, I will part with you. I'm going to part with you. But before I send you back, I will tell you why I'm doing this. After they built the house, Khidr was telling Musa that the owner of this house was a mu'min. By the time he would die, he left two small children who could not control his properties. So Allah caused that building to fall down, to collapse, so as to cover the treasures of that man. So that another person will not go and steal it. So that now that these children now have grown up, Allah has now sent you and I to go and build this house so that these children could have access to their father's properties. That's the lesson. So if that father had not been a mu'min, the children would not have been so fortunate. Similarly to today, if you are nice to other people's children, you are being nice to your own children. And you see, you don't need to fear. I want to bequeath properties for my children. You see now? So I want to bequeath properties to my children. So at times you go after insurance, life insurance for your children. But like this one does not mean anything. Give them Islamic education, let them have education, and be nice to them, and you yourself to engage in a lot of good deeds. These are sure insurance for your children, because they will hand it. They will hand it. Whatever you are doing today, your children will hand it. They will share in it. No escape. If you are a bad man, you are only being bad to yourself. Your children after you will reap it. So, Rasulullah and Allah, they are encouraging us that we should live a righteous life. You don't think of the present. You think of the future. But most of us at times, because out of haste, we only consider the present. We do things for the present. We forget the future. As Muslims, you always think of the future. You always think of when you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You always think of the time that your children too will be in need. Whenever, maybe after your death, maybe your wife. There are some people who have left nothing for their families, and after their death, because they are righteous people, other people they took up that responsibility. And the children they were never in want in the least. So it is always good to be good, because virtues, it is own reward. So, and it's also important as Muslims that you should choose a good mother for your children. You should choose good mothers for your children. When you are contemplating marriage, always look after religion. Make that your consideration. Forget about beauty. Forget about wealth. Consider religion. Rasulullah said, "Fasfar bidati din teribat yadak." Prefer that woman with faith, and you will prosper. Prefer that woman with faith, and you will prosper. If she has faith, she will automatically have all other things. She will automatically have all other things. So, some of these rights of your children on you, some are compulsory, while some are encouraged. They are meritorious. You are encouraged to do them. And maybe after they are done, we will write which our children owe on us is Al-Adhan fi Uzni al-Mawlud. We pronounce the Adhan. As your wife delivers like this, you see the child, the first thing you should do is to pronounce the Adhan on the right here and the Iqamah on the left here. So that the first message this child will hear in coming to this dunya will be the message to Tawheed. See? Because when Fatima radiallahu anha gave birth to Hussein, Rasulullah carried the baby and did that. Adhan on the right here and the Iqamah on the left here. That is the first duty you owe on this child. But some people, it is music they will play on the child. So I've got a child now. So celebration starts. So music. So by the time the child grows up, the adhan of the Muslim will not appeal to him. But the songs, the music of Michael Jackson, Shina Peters, and all these vagabonds around. Why? Because of the foundation. Because of the foundation. And you see, this adhan and they come up, not only once, so continuously. And the Quran will be playing the Quran continuously. So that the child will feel, well, these are part of my experiences in my mother's womb. Because the child in the mother's womb was a mu'min, was a Muslim in the mother's womb. So what he is hearing now will not be strange to him. Because every child has been born as Muslims. Kullu mauludin yuladu ala fitra. Every child is born a Muslim. Then it is the parents that may corrupt him. If the parents are Christians, they will direct him towards Christianity. If they are Jews, they will lead him to Judaism. If they are Muslims, they lead him to Islam. And if they are free thinkers, that same way. But the child is born, every child is born as Muslims. So that is the first thing. The second thing is Tasmiyatu Bismi Asad. Naming this child, giving this child a good name. And this naming can take place the day the wife delivers. Or even before she delivers. You will name the child before the child comes to this dunya. That's the sunnah. Look at Prophet Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam. He has been given that name before he came to this dunya. When Allah was telling Zechariah that we shall give you a child and his name shall be Yahya. Before Yahya even came to this dunya. And Aisha radiallahu anha, you know, she had no issue. She was being referred to as Ummu Abdullah. So you can have kunya. Kunya is what you can call the name, your alias, aka your alias. Huh? The Sahabas, they had it. The Rasul would give them kunya. Rasul, they used to call him Abu Qasim. Like that. Abu Huraira is a kunya. Abu Bakr is a kunya. It's not his true name. See? So there's nothing wrong. And you can give the child that name the day your wife delivers. Because Rasul said, when Maria al-Qibti gave birth to Ibrahim, so she gave birth in the night. So Rasul said, Wulida li layla gulamun fasammaytuhu bismi abi Ibrahim. My wife delivered yesterday night, and I gave him my father's name, Ibrahim. You know, he told the Sahaba the following morning, my wife delivered yesterday night, and I've named him. See now. So, and he said, so when Tola Bon Ubaidullah to give birth, when his wife gave birth, he brought the child immediately to Rasulullah sallallahu, and Rasulullah gave the child name. They call him Abdullah. And Rasulullah said that kullu gulamin rohinun bi akikoti tusbau anhu yawm sabihi wa yuhlaku wa yusamma. So every child, for every child is the slaughtering of a ram. And this shall take place on the 7th day of his birth, you shave the hair and you give him the name. See? So, Rasulullah said, "Innakum tud'auna yawmal qiyamati bi asma'ikum wa asma'i abaikum fa'sinu asma'akum." So on the day of judgment, everybody shall be addressed with his name and the name of his father. Therefore, give yourself good names. And he said, "Inna habba asma'ikum ilallah Abdullahi wa Abdul Rahman." The best of the names are those names like Abdullahi, Abdul Malik, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Samad, Abdul Salam, Abdul Qudus, Abdul Rahim, like that. You can give your children names of prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the names of the Malaika, or the names of the Sahaba. You can give them these good names, so that by the time they grow up, they want to live like these people. And there's nothing wrong for you to rename yourself. If you discover that the name you have been given is not that Islamic, maybe it has a pagan connotation, you change that name. There are many Jahili, there are many Kufar, in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu, that when they became Muslims, they changed their name. There was one woman, her name was Asiya, a sinner. When she became a Muslim, I said, "No, you are Jamila too. You are Jamila. Beautiful, you are beautiful." So not you don't bear. God Allah says, "Bisal ismul fusuku ba'da al-iman." Evil indeed is bad name after you have accepted Islam. So he changed many names for the Sahaba. There was a man, his name was Asram. He changed it to Zura. There was a man, his name is Sheibu Dolala. So somebody from of misguidance. Because you are Sheibu Lehuda. You are guidance. You are from, And there are some Kufar who are bearing good name that he changed their name to Kufar, like Abu Jahl. His name was Abu Hakim, a wise father. But when he was persecuting the Muslims, and said, "No, your name is Abu Jahl. You are the ignorance, father of ignorance." See now, that is Islam. So we should give ourselves good names, and we should always narrate the stories and life history of good people in Islam. So that your children, when they know the person they are sharing the same name with, they want to be like that person. You see now, if you name your child Muhammad, let the child be conscious, let him know who is Muhammad, who is the first person bearing Muhammad. If you call you are giving your child Umar, you are calling your child Umar, let him know who is Umar, so that he will want to emulate Umar. If you call your child Uthman, tell him the history of Uthman, so that child will look forward to being like. So don't just say, "Hey, there's one rich man in my community, I will name my child that name, so that child will be a rich man." People are giving that name. Well, okay, the man is very famous. Maybe he has not been a head of state. So let me call my child the name of the head of state. With that intention. No. Because the head of state, you don't know what will be his end in Yamal Kiyama. It's better you name your child those names that you already know their end. You know what is their reward with Allah. Like the Sahaba now. The Sahaba, we already know their fate. They are in Al-Jannah. So it's better we name our children their names so that they will end up in Al-Jannah, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Of the rights of our children on us, and inshallah next week we shall continue with the rest. Ahlul Kitab, that's the question. Ahlul Kitab are the people of the book. They consist of the Jews and the Christians. The Jews and the Christians are Ahlul Kitab. The Jews are those who claim that Uzair is the son of Allah, and that they believe in a racial God. They see themselves as the favored children of Allah. They claim that they are they are the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that guidance is only, they are the only people entitled to guidance. Others, they are not entitled to guidance. Those are the Jews. You know, they occupy Israel and they scatter in all other parts of the world.
In this present situation, who shall we point as
Ahlul Kitab? The Christians are those who say Allah is 3 in 1. They are Ahlul Kitab.
Those who say Christ is the Son of God.
They say Christ, Jesus is the Son of God. They are the Ahlul Kitab. And Allah says, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثُ ثَلَاثَةٍ. They are kuffar. They are kuffar. Allah has called them kuffar. And what made them to be more kuffar is that Christianity is based on the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the cross. Is it not? Take away the cross, there's nothing like Christianity. That's what the Christianity stands on. And this is totally condemned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. Isa was neither killed nor crucified, but we made him to appear like that. See now, the opinions of the scholars differ. Like Umar ibn Khattab, radiyallahu anhu, when they were arguing, can we eat the food of Ahlul Kitab? He said, I won't eat their food. Why? He said, because Allah said, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثُ ثَلَاثَةٍ. Whenever they are going to slaughter, not in the name of Allah, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. See that? If that's even the slaughter. But if the Muslim, if you slaughter, you can eat a Muslim food, most slaughters. You understand? And if they are slaughtering any animal on any of their festivals, don't eat it. Because they are perpetrating fraud. Fraud against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their creator. Allahu Alam. And on the 7th day you will do a kiko, you slaughter ram. If it's boy, 2 rams, strong. Huh? If it's a girl, 1 ram. Everybody will come and eat. Everybody will eat. There's no harm in that. That's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there's no harm in feasting when you have a child. إنكم تدعون يوم القيامة بأسمائكم وأسماء آبائكم فأحسنوا أسماءكم. That on the day of judgment you will be addressed with your names and the names of your fathers. Therefore, bear good name. There's nothing wrong in you bearing 2 names. You understand? Except if your father bears a name that does not connote anything paganism. You understand? Like Rasulullah sallallahu now, it was Muhammad bin Abdullah. So Abdullah is a good name, and he keeps it on. He kept it on. He kept bearing that name. So, and there are some of the Sahabas too. They were still maintaining their father's name. Once that name did not connote paganism.
For example,
the son of Friday.
Yes. I mean, no, not that. I mean, say Friday. Say your surname is Enjuma, and then you come back and you are a Catholic, and then you come back to Islam. I mean, must you change your name from Enjuma to an Islamic name?
Well, if the meaning of Danjuma is Friday,
it means the son of
somebody born on Friday. There's no harm in that. It's not kufru. But if you say this boy is the son of Friday, that's when there is problem. But that this is the boy born on Friday, there's no harm in that one. If you see, on the issue of Akiko, the scholars, they said it is wajib. Some of them, it is wajib, because they said the child that you don't slaughter the ram on him will not be entitled to intercede for you on Yom Kippur. So if you don't have the means on the 7th day, they said you can do it on the 14th. If you cannot meet it on the 14th, on the 21st. If after on the 24th you cannot, anytime, just before the child becomes matured, you can do it anytime with that same intention. So, a skin, a chicken does not meet it. If you cannot do it now, you can postpone it. And you can help your Muslim brother who is in that problem. Inshallah. Particular day. Because Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, circumcision started on Ibrahim, and he did it when he was 80 years old. When Ibrahim was already 80 years before he was circumcised. 80 in Sahih Bukhari is there. 80. So for the male child or for the female child, what you can only consider is at your own convenience and what you feel the child will be able to cope with. And we have seen that when they are still very young, you can do it maybe on the 7th day or not beyond a month, because the skin at that period in time can quickly heal. And I personally have witnessed that it is true that this thing is better done very early. Even if you can do it before the mother is discharged from the hospital, you can do it, or you do it on the 7th day or afterwards. But it's better you do it when the child is still very young, so that the pain, because by the time he grows, the pain will be too much for him or her to bear. And when in Islam you can circumcise male and female. It is the Sharia, you circumcise both male and female. But these Western people now are telling us that it is not good. And you see, they have made, we have brothers who are doctors who have said that those ladies that are circumcised, those ladies that are not circumcised, they are more promiscuous than ladies who have not been circumcised. And my brothers and sisters, and my brothers in Islam, it is the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when you are talking of Sunan al-Fitra, the traits, the natural traits that every woman being should maintain, circumcision is number one. So, and there is no discrimination between the sexes. Last question. See that no specific age. I've never read a specific age that this should be done. But from what we have experienced, we're talking about what is realistic, what we have seen, what we have experienced. It is better done when the child is still at its infancy, before he grows old, when we have already taken up a new life. And Allah does not want partial submission. You enter wholeheartedly into Islam. Now you have been converted. Now the next thing for you is to work on your wife. Understand? Let her see the light. And if you do anything, you understand, if she's the one that you feel will change over time, she has that tendency to change, like you have been saying, there's nothing wrong if you buy her goodies, nice things. You owe it a duty naturally as the husband to make your wife happy. You understand? To clothe her, to feed her, to shelter her. You understand? But you let her know that this is where it is error. This is why Muslims are not supposed to do this kind of a thing. And you can even appeal to her reasoning from even the Bible too, and from the works of some Christians too, against the celebration of Christmas. You understand? So you are not going to be very harsh. You understand? You are going to be very mild, in discouraging her from doing that kind of a thing. Because if you do it like this, she may be biased. But you, through a mild approach, as long as she is matured psychologically, physiologically, medically, intellectually, let her be married.
Okay, at what age was Aisha bring out to the Prophet?
You see, you can't cite the case of Aisha, because Aisha's marriage to Rasulullah was not the common marriage. Number one, that the marriage was solemnized by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Rasulullah had a dream when he was dreaming that Aisha was being given to him in the dream. So when he woke up, he had to fulfill that dream that Allah has given and that Allah made him to see. And he married Aisha when Aisha was 9 years old. And Aisha had a very rapid growth that she was able to cope with the strain of marital life. She was able to cope. So you cannot say every lady should be given her at the age of 9. Because you have to look at the regions. Children in our own region, tropical regions, their development is not as that rapid as children in the temperate area. So you have to consider a lot of things before you say this lady is matured. Intellectually, psychologically, physiologically, medically. If the doctor feels, if she conceives, she can deliver safely. So it's a task for the parents, for the fathers, to make sure they monitor the growth of the child. As soon as she's matured, let her go to her husband's house. Bismillah.